You're listening to the Law of Attraction Radio Network.
The secret to well-being is discovering the power that is your birthright, the power to create a happier, healthier life, drawn from our own vast internal resources. Join Jules and her guests as they gently guide you to shift your perspective from the familiar negative to the divinely connected, a place that will not only positively impact your world, but possibly shift the planet. It's all right here on Law of Attraction Talk Radio.
Well, welcome to Law of Attraction Talk Radio. I'm Jules from beautiful Southern California, and I'm so glad you could be with me. We have got a really tremendous show, and I get the honors of introducing you to Alena Chapman, who has a brand new show on Law of Attraction Radio Network called Magical Moments. Well, that definitely sounds like a Law of Attraction show to me. I'm thrilled about it. She is absolutely delightful, and she has got so much wisdom packed into her hour that you're really, really going to enjoy it. She's also on YouTube. She's everywhere. So just tune in. She's going to be airing every Sunday. It's going to be lasting for the whole week. So just tune in and listen, because you are really going to love her. And with that, I'm going to take a fast commercial break and then be back with this wonderful, wonderful person, Alena Chapman, with Magical Moments. We'll be right back.
It's here, it's hot, and it's a must read. It's the science behind the Law of Attraction magazine. Every issue brings you great articles and in-depth how-tos from all your favorite Law of Attraction experts, authors, scientists, and medical professionals. Go to lawofattractionmagazine.net. That's lawofattractionmagazine.net.
Did you know that every human uses only a small portion of their powerful mind? Jules Johnson, international certified hypnotherapist, wants to introduce you to your powerful mind in order to create your dream life. In as little as one session, Jules guides you into releasing limiting beliefs that keep you from achieving wealth, health, better relationships, and even true love. Schedule a session in Palm Springs or set up a Skype video session for those nationally and internationally. Jules would love to serve as your guide into living your dreams. Go to creativeguidedimagery.com or call 951-201-2166. That's creativeguidedimagery.com.
You're listening to the Law of Attraction Radio Network, heard by millions worldwide through 38 internet radio stations and in over 135 countries. Be sure to sign up for your monthly updates and get all the latest information on LOA radio events such as cruises, workshops, and seminars, as well as information on the latest shows, topics, and guests. Go to LOARadionetwork.com and sign up today.
Well, welcome, Alena Chapman. I am so excited to be introducing you to the Law of Attraction audience. You know, this is, you are a rare find. You have got a terrific mission, and we're going to be talking about that soon, but I just want to officially welcome you to Law of Attraction Radio Network.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I am so honored to be here and so honored to be talking to you. It's fantastic.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You know, you have got a new show called Magical Moments, and that is such an inviting title. But to even make the excitement more, you have got an outstanding background. You were trained, you were mentored by Bob Proctor. Wayne Dyer, oh my goodness, one of my faves.
I know,
And
mine too.
and really, you have got a 30-year history
I
with
do.
being in the spiritual practice, but you're also a spiritual nurturer. I love that.
I
So
like it too.
please,
Yeah.
please
Yeah.
tell me what that is all about and give us a little bit more background because you're pretty impressive.
Well, you're very sweet. Thank you. A spiritual nurture, I'm actually a spiritual nurturer and a spiritual curator. So both together, it's the curator means that I bring every modality, every religion, all the nuggets of every part of spirituality in to teach people. So you'll hear me talk about everything you can, meditation with the Tao, or doing something
Wow.
Hindu, or doing something Jewish, or doing something whatever it is.
Wonderful.
Just to, so that, because everything has a gem, and it's not for me to say what works the best for people. It's up for them to decide what works best.
Exactly.
And the nurture is, I think people have said that because of my personality and the way I guide them, and I don't push, but I guide, and I'm sure, but everything in the show and everywhere else I guide you. And like I said, there's no just one way. I think that's so silly. I think anybody who tells you it's one way and that it's hard
Yeah.
is, don't even look at them. It's not hard.
It's not hard, but it really takes the mindset that you're going to monitor your mind. And people, that's the hardest part.
Responsibility.
Okay. Yeah. How do you make yourself, wait a minute, I'm feeling bad. I got to relook at this, but it's like you have to feel bad for a certain amount of time before you say, I've had enough of feeling bad.
Yes, I've had enough. I've had enough of feeling bad. But when we start training our mind, and I have to do some of that also. There's so many different ways that you can do it that's a little bit easier. But one of my favorites that I can, do you want me to talk about one thing that they could try at home now?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this one is one that you can do whether you're walking on the street or you're in the office, and it's easy and it's fast. You have a thought. Maybe you're judging something. Maybe you're judging a person. Oh no, you wouldn't do that. Or you're judging something else. Or maybe you're coming down hard on yourself for something. And Lord, I do know about that. I've done that in the past.
Oh.
So whatever it is, catch yourself, which if you catch yourself, that's bravo right there. You catch yourself. But then just say, you know what? I'm going to press my imaginary reset button. Just press it and say, do over. That's it. And then you just say, okay, so what do I want to think instead? And choose a thought that makes you a little more happy. Choose a thought that, wait, I don't want to be that hard on myself. Come on, I gave it my very best shot. And if it didn't work, I can try again. See, you just change the way you're thinking, and you get a do-over. And you can take as many do-overs as you want. But when you do that consistently, all of a sudden, you don't even need the reset button. All of a sudden, you just start doing it,
Because you're rewiring your brain.
Yes.
And you're teaching your brain how you would prefer to think.
Exactly. And you're not punishing yourself in the process.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
And
that is so true in this law of attraction field that we're in. Or spiritual practice. Who beats us up more than ourselves? Because we know better. But it's like, oh, okay, just give me a day to feel bad, and then I'm going to perk right up. And that works. So I got to feel that I don't want to be there. And there's times, hey, I'm human. I'm judgmental. I've got all these things. But how long do we have to stay in that place? That's not bringing us any joy.
Yes. Yes. That's exactly right. And it, like you said, it is okay to feel. And nobody, not even me, no one is always on and happy and peppy and living that high vibration.
Darn it.
I know.
It's like after all these years, isn't
Why
it
not?
time?
But you know, it is. Sometimes when we're not feeling right, there's a reason, you know, and you have to look at it,
That's a
accept
good
it,
point.
and then say, all right, well, right now, I'm going to change this. But tomorrow morning, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to change this. I'm going to do whatever I need to do to either change the situation or change the way I feel. Tonight, I want to raise my vibration. I'm going to do something I like to do. I'm going to turn on music I like. I'm going to take a walk. I'm going to go to a movie. I'm going to change my vibration now. And tomorrow, I'll deal with where I want to do with whatever the situation is. We have to listen to our feelings. We do.
Yeah,
There
absolutely.
are guidance. There are guidance.
You know, I switch it up a bit. I guess
Yeah?
because I'm self-employed, but so I don't have a boss over me. Well, maybe I have a whole network over me, but I like to take that morning walk every single morning, because then I'm totally distracted by the nature of all,
Yes.
to walk out in the desert, and it's incredible seeing all the wildlife and everything.
Wow.
And so it's like, okay, that's how I start my day. I get up, I'm drowsy, I go throw on my clothes, and I go with my neighbors and walk 3.5 miles every day. And it's like, okay, this is the way to start a day. And if people could just wake up a little bit earlier, you will find, if you take a walk or get into nature or even walk barefoot in the grass,
Oh, yes.
you're going to really energize yourself to become the person that you want to be during the day.
Yes. You know, it's really funny. I've always found that nature is the one way that I can re-energize. And you know, when you walk barefoot, if you're not living in the winter like I am.
Oh, that's right.
That could be a little cold. But if you feel that wonderful earth, and just, it can energize you. It energizes you. It nurtures you. The trees, I've even felt them kind of just lean to me. When you feel that, oh my gosh, it shows you what the world really is.
That's so important. And I just read a scientific report on hugging trees. You are actually getting the energy from the tree, and this is scientifically proven. So for all those tree huggers that we always laughed at in our younger world, they had it right all along. You know?
They did.
and grounding yourself to this experience of the earth and walking barefoot in the dirt or the grass or whatever, you are really setting yourself up to raise your vibration in a new way. Everything that grows around us is alive, and here we take it for granted.
We don't even care. Half of the time we don't notice. I live on a very tree-lined road.
Oh, wonderful.
And when I get to that part, I always slow down, especially now with all the snow. It's just gorgeous. And I roll down my windows. I don't care how cold it is. And I just breathe. And I don't care who's behind me. It's just beautiful. And it's taking in that beauty of nature. And everything else stops. Isn't that cool? That's what happens. It's like you go into a timelessness. It's really, I can't stress how important it is to really get out in nature, to fill your life with beauty. And on the show, The Magical Moments, I always give these little nuggets like this, because I call them magical nuggets, because they are to learn how to just, well, it's for the ease and betterment in life, you know?
It's just not that. It's like there is a happy place for you to be in.
Yes.
And once you connect with that, everything else falls into place. So
it does.
This nugget of information is so powerful, and that you start yearning to do this every day. You start yearning to
Yes.
change your mind. This is the movement of the law of attraction, the spiritual movement, that everything around you is this energy that we can expand our lives in.
It's exactly true. And you know, when you start to open yourself up, I call it the magic, to the nature, to the goodness in life. Do you know, Jewel, I fill my life with beauty everywhere. Everywhere I go, my car, I have a little glass hummingbird. When
Oh,
in my home, every room has something that just calls. But I don't do that. I do that because it helps me to center in and feel that beauty. When you feel the beauty around you,
yeah.
then it helps you to think clearly. It helps you to get the ideas and the creativity going. There's no chaos. Instead, you just have this beauty, which breeds beauty. It does.
Oh, that's so true.
So just filling your life. I always ask everyone to create like a sacred space. A sacred space, like it can be a chair, it can be a corner of the room, it can be out in nature. If it's inside, you decorate it. And that is your place. And it's beautiful. It's where I always ask them to put a circle around it of light and say, and all the way, I always go north to east to south to west and back. And then I say, no worry, doubt, or fear shall enter here. And I push the energy away.
Oh,
And then I step inside, free. Isn't that cool? And if a thought does come in that I don't like, I step back out, I clap that energy away, say, this is my time. You can come back later, but not now. And I go in and I have my tea, I light my candles, I do meditation, or I watch a video I like, or I write, or I listen to whatever I want to read, or just meditate. It's up to me. Visualize my dreams. That's my space, free of all the criticalness.
I love that. And
Yeah,
it's
that is
taking personal responsibility for your thoughts, because you can choose to be happy or you can choose to be miserable.
Yes.
The choice is the person. So we can stop it, or we can do exactly what Alena is talking about. Do that every day. Oh my
Every
goodness,
day.
your life is
day.
going to change. So tell me, you have got 3 boys, correct?
Yes.
And
3 boys.
that, I think that's wonderful. Now they're not young.
No, we went through that stage. We're on to another one.
But how did you teach your children to enjoy life?
Oh. You know, more by example than anything else. And I also think, I always say by the time your kids are teenagers, if you're still having to do really heavy discipline, something was amiss, because you should be seeing some of the fruits of the labor that you've done with them. You should start seeing them start. Now, they still need guidance, but they also have a lot of what you were showing them. I don't know, it was the day-to-day feelings that I had, my changing my thoughts, and did I get angry sometimes? Well, yeah. I mean, if you saw some of the stuff they did, of course I did. But then I would quickly change it and talk about the universal law of cause and effect. And if you do this, this is the result. Do you really want that result? That reason with them. And I think this reasoning and having them be able to make more of their own decisions, and that independence I help them groom, I think that is one of the things that they have just loved. And I was open-minded about a lot of things. Like for spirituality, for instance, I don't say one church is right, or one religion, or one modality.
Right.
And I never have. And I said, you find the one that brings you the closest to God. And that's what they all do. It's this I think it's just bringing what you believe about yourself and what you're practicing, this law of attraction, in with your kids. Why should it stop with you?
That's a good question. But
Why?
it does. It's tougher for. I mean, I'm a grandma, and I've never had
know.
kids, but it's tougher for people to get their mindset when the focus is on someone else. But I loved what you said. It's helping them think a few steps ahead of what
Yes.
will happen if with the
Cause and
decision.
effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very powerful.
Well, you want them to be able to make their own decisions.
Yes, but
You
in
want-
a moment of anger, it's tough to know, it's really tough to remain the adult, should I say, without
Yes.
getting into that playpen and duking it out with them. Yeah.
I know, but that doesn't help in the
No,
end.
no.
Kids get immune to your yelling. They get immune to your punishments. This is by the time they get into high school, and they do get immune to it all. And really, what you can do, the best thing, I always say as a parent, the best thing is raise a child with the least amount of garbage in their life.
Oh my gosh.
That's number one.
Yeah.
And then number two, help them to think for themselves, help them to have the confidence and to trust their own decisions and to think things through and to feel good about their choices, and also good if they make a mistake. If you can teach them that, then you're going to strike. Then they won't be scared to dream. Then they won't be scared to think outside the box. Then they will believe in themselves to go after something and will understand that they're not having to struggle. They take responsibility for themselves. That's what you're teaching them.
And at the same time, you're resetting your brain to take in that information too. So while your children are growing, so are you. If you can do it in that precise way that helps them, it's going to kick back and help you as well.
It's always taking a time. You can yell, and sometimes you will. My gosh, I'm Italian. What, seriously. But if you can just wait a minute before you yell and think, okay, what is the higher good here? They have done this thing and it's not good, but what's the higher good? What do I really want them to come out of this knowing? And from then, and that's what I had to do with myself, because you're not born a mother. You have to learn. And there's many ways to be a mother. Which way do you want to be? Do you want to be the yelling, or do you want to be the one who teaches?
Oh, yeah.
You have to stop and you have to think, what is the higher good? And every time you do that, your mind will start to click, and then talk to them. It's a choice, but I'll tell you, it helps you too. It helps you too.
And that's what's so important to remember, that in teaching them, you're going to be teaching yourself and reaffirming it in your mind. It's such a powerful, having children is a wonderful process in which you can grow even stronger than the child. But then when they get older and they reflect back, it's like, wow,
it's
Mom,
so cool.
You were so great. How did you not get so mad when I did such and such?
Yeah. When they have their kids, that's when you hear it.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine.
I'm not there yet. My oldest is 20. We're not in that yet. We're still in this college and discovering ourselves stage, So
great stage.
It is a good stage. It really is fun.
But they wouldn't have gotten there had it not been for you and what you taught. Really,
I'm sure I helped a lot.
Yeah, they had a choice to do that, and So you were
Yes.
grounded first, and then you bring, and that's what the parents, they never really talk about that. The
Mm-mm.
parents need to get grounded first in order to teach the child. And so many people don't take they'll feed
No.
them, but they won't nurture them.
Yeah.
They won't give them the input. And I will
Yes.
say
Yeah.
probably everyone but law of attraction listeners.
And that's true. Well, it is. When you have a child, you are taking on a responsibility. And it's deciding what you want that child to be. You're not what they want to be in life, but what do you want for that child? What gift do you want to give that child? That's really what it is.
Yeah.
And then when you grow as you go too. I didn't start out totally on I went through a time in my life where I lost what I call the magic.
Really?
Because yes, and it was actually after having kids, and everything I didn't go into an identity crisis because of the kids. That seemed fine. I wanted kids, but the marriage took a turn to a place where all of a sudden there were these new restrictions, and I couldn't the friends I had were not good enough. The career I had was too demanding. Everything was just, and it threw me into well, wait a minute, this is what I've been working for my whole life. What do I do? I went through like an identity crisis, and the magic was gone. As the more I did what people wanted me to do,
Oh my goodness.
that's when the magic left.
Wow.
And I'm talking about magic of synchronicity. I'm talking about magic of flow, the wu wei, as the Tao says, the flow with ease, the total belief in yourself and in the universe, and just doing it, just going the process and enjoying the journey. That was gone. It was all gone. That strong belief. And I had to learn. That's why I do what I do now, because I had to learn. I was an unconscious competent. Everything just flowed like you would not believe. And I just thought everybody lived that way. And then when I lost it and I saw all the people and how mundanely everybody lives, just habitually and mundanely, and the magic isn't there, and it's boring and it's negative, and it's, oh my gosh, it was not fun. And I thought, I've got to learn how to get back. I got to get back to my magic. And that's what I did. I learned the steps and I got myself back into where I was. And now I'm even better than I was,
So it started with your mate, your husband?
Oh, yeah. Well, started with my father.
Ah, yes. Got it.
Said, you picked a career that I don't believe in. It was music. I was in music. So you need to get married to a man who can support you. So that was the end of that. And I listened. Now I had a choice, but I was a daddy's girl, and I really didn't want to upset him. And I was ready to have kids. So I thought, okay, we'll try this. Okay. Well, I did get 3 beautiful, beautiful boys. And I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing if I hadn't gone that journey.
Oh, that's good.
And and I always think of what Waldo Emerson always says, because it always rings in my mind, always, that all of life is an experiment, and the more experiments you do, the better. I take that marriage and learning that, following what other people say, they don't know you.
Yeah.
They do not. I don't care how well they know them. They do not know you. Only you know you. And if you think that that is not going to work for you, then don't do it. You've got to follow your heart. And sometimes there's a little, getting there. Sometimes you have to do some other things, but your heart is always the goal. It's always the goal. Because if you don't live your heart, you can't live in true authenticity. You can't be happy. Finding the magic is 3 times harder, and that's what happened to me. It's a lesson I learned big time.
So finding the mate that's going to stay with you is not the easiest thing in the world before, if you don't know yourself before.
Right, right. Or you are listening to somebody else who tells you. But it is, you have to know yourself before. You have to feel whole. Nobody's going to complete you. Nobody is going to fill you with the parts of yourself that you don't like, fill you, with the goodness. Nobody will make you whole.
Nobody.
Only you. And is it hard? No, I never found the journey hard, because every step made me feel so good and built my connection to spirit. And so the more I did, the more I would see magic, or I would feel good, or things would just click, or every step. So it's work to say that I'm going to take the responsibility and do it. But once you start, it's almost like a journey of discovery. That's how I think of it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
discovery. Yeah.
Back in my day when you had a mate, and I've had a couple of great ones, but I have had really nice ones, really.
Good.
But the issue was me not knowing myself and growing up in an age where the man was the boss and you were just there to do his work. Yeah. So, we're blossoming now into a more equal period, I would say.
Yes.
Am I right or wrong?
We are.
Okay.
You're totally right. I think women are seeing it more, and there are more and more men who are on board with this. The men are starting to evolve too. I'm seeing it more and more with the millennials and even the 30s and some of the 40s. Now the 50s and 60s, well, they're working on it.
Yeah. The only way I could work on me was not to be in a relationship for like the last 20 years. And, but I'm still very, very good friends with my former husbands, and I'm grateful. But
I am too.
It's a nice situation to finally be okay in your skin, where you could be living your own life and enjoying it. So, and that's the key to actually having a fulfilling relationship. You have to be true to yourself first before you could live with someone else.
When you are true to yourself and when you are whole in yourself, that means, what do I mean by whole? Well, you feel good about you, every part of you, the faults and the good stuff, both parts. Oh my gosh. And you feel good about that. Your faults, by the way, are your gifts, by the way. But you have to learn that. But when you do, and you feel good for who you are, all of a sudden, when you meet the person, and you'll know right away that person isn't right for you. Or when you meet the right person, then that person is going to honor you, because guess what? You honor you. And if you don't honor you, then that person won't honor you. And that's where the friction comes in. And but if you honor you, it's almost like it vibrates out from you. It's a frequency. It's a goodness that floats out from you, that the man thinks, all right, she's got it together. She really knows who she is. It's good. We're going to be a partnership.
Yeah.
That's how
is so true. That is so true.
That's how it works. Yeah. Everything's vibration. And we read, and vibration is truly coming from our emotions. It really does. That's what vibrates. That's what vibrates up to the universe. That's what vibrates to other people.
And that's the sad part too, that some people would prefer to drink it away or take medicine to give it away, but instead of facing themselves, they can't be happy. They can't sidestep it. We're on this planet to learn.
They're trying to escape.
Yeah.
And I always say everybody has, I don't judge. I cannot judge because I do not know the journey you're on. And I don't know the damage. I can't believe what people do to other people, especially children. I do. So I don't know what they're going through to get onto these addictions. But I do know that there's a better way, and a way that's real and will give you just as much relief. But you got to take responsibility and say, okay, this has happened and this is crap, but I have got to learn how to first get myself in a place where I want to be. And then secondly, I know you're going to love this, you got to start to forgive.
Oh, that's a big one right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. That's why I always say you work with yourself first. You move yourself into a place where you're happy, or at least building something good. And then you can take the step. When you're hurting, it's very hard to forgive right then and there. It really is.
That's so true. That's
It
so
is.
true.
Yeah.
And that's, I just got a glimpse into your show.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, because it's going to be phenomenal, and people are going to love you because you have so much wisdom that you can give everyone about everyday stuff that we often don't see, we don't pick up. So every listener is going to get a tidbit that is really
important. I bring you that because you get your visualization going, you know where you're going, but then all these little things, these little rocks and boulders come in the way. Well, that's where Magical Moments comes in, because it teaches you how to go to, well, number one, don't keep you beating your head on that rock, but how to be like the water and go around it. How do you learn that? How do you have the creativity and the state of mind to do that? And that's what we deal with. Yeah.
That's powerful. Powerful.
Thank you. It is.
So your show is coming on and starting this Sunday, which is February 2nd, I believe.
February 2nd.
And you will start. So I want everybody to tune in to her. Go to her show page at Law of Attraction Radio Network, which was LOAradionetwork.com/Alena Chapman. And we're going to have that below on the video. But I'm telling all of the listeners who listen through their cars and not watching a screen while they're driving, thank you very much.
Oh, don't do that. No.
But you'll be able to get some great wisdom tidbits that's really going to help you.
Yeah, it will.
Your whole life going in the right direction. And that's what we're all about here. And I'm so delighted to have you on the network. And I just, oh my goodness. Oh, I'm so excited. Everybody's going to love you. So it's going to be great.
Thank you. I'm very honored and so happy to be a part of the Law of Attraction Network. Fabulous, fabulous people.
Yeah, and the listeners are even better.
Yes.
So can they possibly send you questions that you could answer?
Definitely. In fact, many of the shows I do have guests. I bring you fantastic guests. But once a month, I do an Ask Alena. And so it's perfect. My gosh, you guys, you ask the best questions. That, you have a question, you think it's only for you, but when you ask a question, you're helping millions out there. You just don't know. So be brave and put that question. And I do take questions. I would like them to send questions, definitely. And are they sending it right through the network?
Well, give your email address or the email that they can get a hold of you.
That'd be perfect.
Okay, go ahead and give that, and we're going to put that out. So, because they listen on iHeart and all these places, they may not come to the show page, and that's okay, because you're just going to get even.
Right.
It's wherever they get the information is where they're supposed to be. So tell them where they can send an email.
Just send it to my email. That's all right. And it's Alena, ALENA, Marie, that's my middle name, Chapman, Chapman, @gmail.com.
Oh, that's easy.
Simple.
Okay. All right,
It's
good.
the easiest.
We're going to put it below on this video and we'll put it on your show page. But now you just informed everyone. And I just really urge you to listen, send her comments, send her questions. And as she said, by doing this, you're not only helping yourself, you're helping the world. That's how important it is for you to engage with her. So
Very
this
important.
is so great.
Yeah.
Again, I am thrilled to have you on the network. I see a long, long future with
Me
us.
too. Oh,
And
me too.
it's going to be fun. And then I'm going to get her to go on a cruise too. Yeah. All righty. Well, thank you again, Alena. It was
Thank you.
terrific, and you're a blessing to us and to the world. And I am thrilled to death with you.
Wow, I'm thrilled with you too. You're a very, very special person to get this incredible network together and to keep it going and bringing so many people to a fantastic way of living. Yeah, that's you.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And until be sure to listen February 2nd on Law of Attraction Radio Network. And again, I'm going to put all the links so that you won't miss one of her shows. You're going to love it.
We have fun.
Yeah. Okay, Alena, thank you so much. I enjoyed it immensely.
Me too. Me too. Thank you for having me. Very nice.
Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back next week with another great show from Law of Attraction Talk Radio. If you'd like to comment on tonight's show, send an email to jules@loaradionetwork.com and have a great week.